Bitch, until of that track when I'm spilling that crack. My militia raid a villa, I'm a villain that's black back killing, mass stealing, my chillin'.
I remember laying on the surgical table and my mom watching me, and that was when I really realized that I was going to be mutilated.
When you realize something terrible might happen, something that you can't protect yourself from, you can't even admit it to yourself. I guess if your body can't protect itself, your brain tries to. Sometimes the word no isn't one that everyone hears.
This is causing harm, and that there are men who are harmed by the practice, who are not willing to be silent any longer. It's the way that we will bring this sorry practice to a close. I first discovered that there was such a thing as circumcision, though the word wasn't used, when I saw my father naked and realized I was different. I asked my mother why I was different, and she said that I'd had a little operation to avoid trouble later on and for social reasons. I then went to boarding school a year or so later and discovered that I was different to a lot of other boys, and it was then at boarding school that I discovered the word circumcision, and that it wasn't as common as I had thought. I'd thought I was, probably one of a majority, or certainly most people would be like I was, but far from it. I think I've always felt I've had something missing.
I think there has been some things that have been profound in our lives, but I think this by far is the most profound. It affected my children, and anything that affects my children to this degree.
I knew I was circumcised, and the more research I did, the more I got upset. It's also allowed to study the nerve endings in the foreskin, and I had no choice in this. It was not comforting to know that other people were circumcised. It was
because it's very emotional for me, and this whole topic is new. I'm just learning about it, and I'm so upset about what I've done and my part in this. So I've written some of these things because it's hard to, it gets kind of emotional. I'd like to speak about this, so I'm reading it. I apologize. So Evan, firstly, I am so sorry and saddened that I could have hurt you. I love you with all my heart and soul. You are my beautiful, precious son that I have adored. You have brought so much joy and happiness to our family. Thank you for being my son, Evan. I feel guilty and ashamed that I circumcised you. With blind conformity, I violated you. I should have educated myself before I made a permanent decision. I raised you with organic foods, fluoride-free water, the safest rated cars out there, thyroid shields on the few and far between digital dental x-rays. I formaldehyde tested our house before we moved in. I went beyond the concern on keeping my children safe and protected. So when you asked me, came to me, and you were angry and hurt that I circumcised you, I thought, me, the protective mother, how could I never do this to you? I was in such denial that I could have done anything that would ever harm you. You gave me the information on this, and I started sharing in your anger and your rage and your pain. And I should never, ever have allowed anyone for any reason to do this to you, ever. And please, parents, before you choose this, cut your son, check this out, inform yourself, read about it. You read about prenatal care and how to take care of your children in the best preschools and what you should do. This is as important, if not more. So no one ever has the right to recommend this to your child. I don't care who it is, whatever medical profession, no one has the right to do this. And parenting is based on trust, and this violates all trust. Your child will be very proud that you had his back and kept him intact. So thank you for being my son, Evan. I love you so much. I am so sorry. I am so proud of you for standing up and speaking out against circumcision. Thank you for teaching me and opening my mind. And you are incredibly brave and amazing. And I love you so much with all my heart.
Thank you. I love you too.
You know, this should have been part of, before you have kids, you get to understand this, not after the fact. And so the way he presented it to me, there was an incredible amount. He was extremely sensitive to the way I learned this. He gave me little by little of things to understand so that I really understand it better now versus just saying this happened and I'm mad and I'm angry. He didn't do it that way. He just is very careful about explaining things. So I'm grateful for that. So I think my response was better because of that. And I think as a person going through this, explaining it and educating people and showing them and giving them facts and giving them videos rather than just getting angry. You know, I think that's part of when kids get angry or about something their parents do, sometimes parents just reject it automatically and say, well, I did the best I could and I can't help it and I make mistakes and that's life. This is beyond that. This is such an important topic that as a parent, most parents wouldn't have gone on from there. I would not have pursued it myself educationally. He did it for me. So I was very lucky that I learned, and once I learned, there's no going back. And my heart aches because of it. And I will never be the same. I have to say I will never forgive myself. It will be the thing in my life I will never forgive. And the thing that I regret the most, that I could hurt my child like that. So for me, it was life-altering, in a way that, there's always good that comes from pain and from growing, and, you can take the road to feeling like a victim, or you can take the road to be empowered. That's how I look at these things in life, and I want Evan to be empowered by this, and I want to be empowered, and I want a relationship to be empowered, and I think we can get to that place where it empowers us rather than feeling like we've been destroyed or hurt or victimized. And if we can take this and move it to a much more powerful place of a relationship and information, then it didn't defeat us. It didn't destroy us.
No medical excuse for genital abuse.
Girls are protected by our boys. Why do men not have the right to keep their whole body in this country? Shameful. Forced genital cutting violates human rights.
Many, and I am of this opinion, would say that the complication rate of circumcision is 100%. But what do we mean by complications? When I say 100%, I think I'm trying to say that every male who's been circumcised has lost significant tissue and has somewhere in the recesses of his somatic memory. Some talk about limbic imprinting. This is a portion of the brain, the very primitive brain. There is somewhere that this memory of this incredible pain in the neonatal period is stored. And it comes out in a variety of ways. And we're all missing a very critical and important part of our sexual apparatus. So yes, 100% complication rate. But when we're talking, people wonder, what's the acute complication rate? Well, what are the acute complications? Bleeding. There are aberrant arteries that, and in the more primitive countries, can be as high as 20%. However, this is only dealing with the acute complications. Complications are a big, medical complications are a significant feature, especially in an operation that is as common as circumcision.
By circumcision in the UK, and it's that knowledge that we're trying to bring to public attention in as many ways as possible. On demonstrations and when we've met the public, as men do complain, they have a number of reactions, but the most common reaction is, oh, well, now you mention it, yes, we see, yeah, that's wrong. And people will usually get it after that thought. And one day outside the British Medical Association, we met a lady who saw our message that the National Health Service was wasting £6 million a year on circumcisions that boys didn't need or want. And she, well, expletives had to be deleted. I mean, when I first heard her open her mouth, I thought, oh my God, someone's attacking us. But it wasn't. She just so got the idea of her money being spent on harming children that she came as a real surprise and a delight. But a bit scary, very strong. But most people will quietly get it and walk away. We have had occasional abuse, shouting from one particular case from the white van, which the guy was clearly upset, more expletives, clearly upset with us for even raising the issue. I think a lot of men don't, you've got this feeling that if we say this is a harmful practice, we've just created millions of men who have been harmed sexually. And that's quite a strong change for society to make. And I think it happens slowly, and that's my whole reason really for breaking the silence, if you like. And the only reason that I'm able to break this silence is that I now know that I'm actually part of a movement that's not just me, I'm not that brave, and it's the support I get from other people in the movement that really makes me have the confidence to say that this is, well, the way forward. Yes, the way forward.